Welcome
Y saludos, amigos.
a nuestra presentación, Revenge of the Pod, presented to you by the Room 303 Network. I am your host, Luigi, and this is my co-host.
Jason, what's up, everybody? Glad to have you back. Sorry, man. I got a little. Is that a Revenge of the Pod shirt that I see?
No, you said this before. It's just a shirt that says Revenge, but it
Oh,
works.
oh, oh, my bad. I was
Yeah,
like,
so
what? I thought
for
it was
those
like
of
a
you who
Christmas
are
gift.
listening to the audio, I'm wearing a shirt that says Revenge on it. And Jason just stopped dead in his tracks and stared. And I was like, did I say something wrong? No, it was a distraction. I apologize. Don't worry, Jason. I wouldn't make a Revenge of the Pod shirt and not at least show you the design or something first.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. I was about to be a little upset
uh,
because I didn't get one.
you good, dog. We are a pop culture pod dedicated to movies, shows, music, pop culture, of course, a little bit of sports. But let's get into it. Jason, we've been away for a minute. We did do the end of year year in review with the Room 303 Network, but it's been a moment since it was just us. How you doing, man?
Oh, doing pretty good. Yeah, we pre-recorded all that stuff. So, um, Christmas had gone by, New Year's had gone by. I got to see the family, which was cool. Um, I got a Switch for Christmas. Shout out Jamie for that. It was dope. So I got a Switch now. So and already broke it in. New Year's kept it chill. Smoked a brisket. A brisket flat came out a little dry, if I'm being completely honest, but still really good. Just hoping to make it maybe juicier next time. Made a smoked queso mac and cheese. Oh, fucking fire, dude. What about you, man? What did you do for the holidays?
Dude, I would have to say that I did a lot. Okay, let me just run through it. So my students had their last day. They had a Christmas celebration where they sing to their parents. You know, one of those. And then all the kids pretty much went home after that. So we had very few kids left, but we still had to watch them. And got to go home a bit early because I had to watch Katia. She wasn't feeling so well that day. And then she got out early, so I definitely had to watch her. Then I had a friend come in, Eric, friend of the pod, EPE, Eric from Room 303. My mom came into town. My brother's wife came into town. I got to meet one of my cousins. It was a lot for Christmas. I went out to eat to a lot of places. I tried Snooze, very good. I thoroughly enjoyed eating at Snooze. Went to this place called Tokyo Cowboy. That's a local spot here, fusion Japanese and American barbecue, but it's like uh, upscale, I guess, upscale cuisine. Very good. You can ask Eric about it. He definitely enjoyed that one too. Jason. Let me see what else. I smoked a turkey for New Year's. I also smoked a pernil. I did a smoked pernil that was like orange pernil. But back to New Year's, I smoked a turkey and then I made a flan for the first time. It was my mom's flan. It came out pretty good. Pretty good. I made a mistake here and there, but it still tasted good. And everybody destroyed it. So I'd say that it wasn't too bad. Those are just a few things I did, man. But let's get into some of the things that we have on the news for us. So I've been wanting to talk about this for a minute. Jason, are you aware of public domain?
Mm, kind of.
Okay. So public domain is when a work, any kind of work done by an artist, it becomes available for anyone to copy or redo in their own with their own imagined version, right? In the United States, it's about after 100 years now. It used to be 60, but corporations pushed it back, and certain artists wanted it pushed back because they wanted the rights longer. And this year, there's one very notable and a couple of other notable public domain appearances that are now available for anyone to make stories with, starting with the biggest, which would be the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse. That is now public domain. Black and white Mickey is available for people to use in their own stories however they so choose. His image, his likeness, the story itself, all available to use. There's already a horror movie, a slasher movie, in which the slasher has a mask of Steamboat Willie Mickey. There's also a game that is coming out with Steamboat Willie Mickey in it as well. There is Peter Pan is now entering public domain. Tigger from Winnie the Pooh is entering public domain. Charlie Chaplin film, which I'm assuming also includes his original likeness, is public domain as well. So we've got some big ones, Jason. Do you expect to see more of these Steamboat Willie or Tigger? Maybe there's going to be a Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey Part 2 with Tigger in it. What are you thinking you're going to see now?
That yeah, I mean, 100 years. That's kind of a lot, using the likeness for it. But I have heard about that people are going to be able to use Mickey Mouse as is going to be public domain. So I didn't know it was just the Steamboat Willie one. So that's interesting. But yeah, I mean, I don't really care too much about it. Yeah, if they're going to pop up in like games and stuff like that, that's cool with me. You know.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested to see what they do with these characters. I know they're going to go crazy with them. People have been trying to use Mickey Mouse for decades now because he is so iconic. So I know they're going to go wild with this one. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of dirty cartoons like Family Guy just take an aim at Steamboat Willie Mickey. Although Fox is already owned by Disney, so that's probably something that can easily happen now anyway. South Park, I assume, will also use Mickey Mouse's likeness. So I'm
Well,
excited to see what kind of interesting things they use for it.
they've used Mickey Mouse before in some of their shows.
South Park?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I've seen it on Simpsons, and that's about it. Yeah, I've seen it on The Simpsons, and that's it.
Yeah, they showed it. They showed Mickey on, and he was like the head corporate of Disney, and like they were making fun of it. It's like very aggressive CEO, pretty much.
Oh.
I don't know if we'll make fun of it even more. I mean, they've made fun of Disney already again with the Kathleen Kennedy stuff, so and even before that. So kind of interesting to see what I'm sure South Park will make fun of it even more now. So
I'm interested to see if they do if anybody does a reimagining of Steamboat Willie or makes a long form version of the short cartoon. I know that they're definitely going to do a lot with Peter Pan. I can only imagine how people are going to rewrite Peter Pan stories. They've already been doing it. They've just had to pay. Right now,
yeah.
it's free. Now it's free. Now you can do it for free, guys. Anybody who wants to make a Peter Pan story does not have to pay any royalties. So definitely interested in seeing how that goes. You got any news for us, Jason?
Yeah, man. So fantasy football is over and done with. So congrats to all the people that play it and won a championship. I was in 9 this year, and guess how many I won?
0.
That is correct. Although I made 5 playoffs out of my 9 leagues, and got booted. I felt like every time I played in the playoffs, I had to play against Christian McCaffrey in each playoff round, and I got knocked out each time. So, wish I would have played him in the championship game because he ended up getting hurt and didn't score that much, and I would have won. I was looking at the scores, but yeah. And then college football, Texas ended up losing last night. Ended up falling asleep towards the end, and I was pretty tired from the 3-day weekend. If I'm being completely honest, I woke up and like, shoot, we lost. I tried staying awake, dude. I was just so tired, and fell asleep wearing like my Texas gear, and I woke up and I'm like, oh shit. Didn't mean to fall asleep, but I don't know, man. Hopefully they do better next year, but proud of how far they went this year. So that's just some news, sport news. Other than that, I don't really got much quick news for you.
Yeah, so I will say one thing. The Cowboys have a chance at a number 2 seed with some luck and bad officiating, so I'll take it for what it is and hope for the best. So go Cowboys. We'll see how that goes in the playoffs. Russell Wilson, speaking of football, Russell Wilson getting benched by the Broncos. That's Jason's team. Jason, what you thinking about Russell Wilson getting benched? Is it on? Is it all on Russ?
No, man, I kind of feel for Russ, honestly. Although I'm a Broncos fan, I'm like been pretty pissed with him this year. Although he's hadn't been playing bad. Like if you look at his QBR rating and stuff like that, it hasn't been bad. It was, I think, on par or better than Patrick Mahomes. So, but Mahomes has been kind of shitty. So it's just they wanted him to restructure his contract. Apparently, they had reached out to them after we beat Kansas City, which I think there was like still like 9 games left, and then we went on that winning streak. But they had asked him to restructure his contract for the injury clause because he's going to get paid no matter what, even if he gets injured. So they were scared that he was going to get injured. So that's why they decided to bench him since they realized they weren't going to make the playoffs anymore. So they decided to bench him in order for them to save some money. Because in case he gets hurt, he can just automatically gets his money no matter what. So they wanted him to restructure that. And I don't know, man, it just kind of sounds, which kind of sounds like they may not be moving forward with him next year. I don't know, but he seems pretty upset. I think he's handling it really well. I'd be pretty pissed too if they come up to me and ask me to restructure my contract and for my injuries. You know, I was like, no, we signed on this and it was guaranteed. I'm not going to restructure that. Fuck you. So I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I kind of feel for him. You kind of did him dirty, bro.
Of all sports, too, one of the most contact heavy sports are asking you to restructure over injuries. No.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, mm-mm. So I feel for him. I kind of sided with him on this one, but at the same time, like, well, I guess we're drafting a quarterback next year in the first round. So that kid from Washington looked pretty good last night. Yeah.
Yeah, I know who we're looking at.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see what happens, man. But yeah, I mean, he played okay, but it just wasn't enough. We start off pretty shitty, went on a winning streak. Who knows, man? We'll see.
All right, all right. Well, fair enough. We're gonna move into some trailers because we've got quite a few. So we're gonna rattle these off, guys. It's the new year. We've got some stuff that's coming out within the next few months, all from January to May. So we want to give you guys a preview of what's coming up in 2024. First off, Book of Clarence coming out January 12th. So that's really soon. That one is starring Lakeith Stanfield. It is based on a story in which the idea is that this guy he sees Jesus Christ getting all these followers and he wants to do the same thing. So he runs pretty much a scam so that he can get followers and people to pay him and give him things the way they gave Jesus Christ things. He even goes as far as to ask if he can become a disciple. And gets into some pretty big trouble for it. So I'm interested in seeing it. It looks like a comedy slash, I don't know, partial action, right? Not exactly where I would throw this movie, but definitely has a lot of comedic elements. So I'm interested in watching that one. What about you, Jason?
Yeah, those fake miracles, right? Kind of poking fun at the Bible and like the Jesus stories of like the miracles he was creating. He's like, I can do that, so he started making fake miracles as well, so he can get popularity. Very interesting take on it as far as the stories about Jesus Christ and stuff. So very interesting.
All right. So that's one. We've also got Love Lies Bleeding, starring, gosh, what is her name? I cannot believe. Oh my gosh, from Twilight. Jason, help me here. Stewart.
Kristen,
Thank you.
Kristen
Thank you.
Stewart,
Yeah, this one looks like I'm not really sure what to think of this film. But Love Lies Bleeding stars Kristen Stewart, and this is killing me. I need to be better about this. And Katie O'Brien, which I think she came out in, if I'm not mistaken, she came out. I don't want to say that she was the one who came out in.
He came out in Quantum Mania, also Mandalorian.
Oh, I was thinking Arrested Development. That's not the same person at all. Okay, fair enough. Go on. Quantumania, Mandalorian, and what else?
Ant-Man and the Wasp, the other Ant-Man.
Oh, she came out in all the Ant-Man movies. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. So she's pretty buffed up in this film. I'm
dude,
interested.
yo,
Yeah, she is. She is jacked. And then it looks like she might have like some kind of superpower because in some of the scenes you can see that she also like her muscles grow in the scene. So I'm wondering what that's about. But Love Lies Bleeding is about, and this is from Google. So Lou is a reclusive gym manager who falls hard for Jackie, an ambitious bodybuilder who's heading to Las Vegas to pursue her dream. Their love soon leads to violence as they get pulled into a deep web of Lou's criminal activity, which looks like it deals with drug dealing, and then she turns on her dealer at some point. Not sure why exactly that happens. It looks like it also has some comedic elements, but if anything, this has to be a dark comedy. A24 film. Um, it's definitely got like a romance element to it, and gosh, I would say like a dark, like a thriller element to it as well. So I'm not sure what to think of this one, but it definitely looks interesting. A24 comes up with some crazy stuff.
yeah, I think that's the reason why I was like, because if I'm being completely honest, when I went to go see a movie that we're going to talk about later, um, we saw this trailer, and then I looked at Jamie, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to see that. I don't know what I like. It just didn't really catch me in the trailer. I'm like,
Yeah.
and there's quite a bit of movies that we saw, trailers that we saw for the movie that we saw, and it was a lot of me just being like, I don't know, I'm not sure about that one, So, not saying that I hated it, but it's just like, I don't know. So, but it's A24, so I don't know. They do come out with some good stuff. They've been hot lately, so I mean, it might be worth a shot.
Yeah, it at the very least looks very original, kind of like Poor Things, which I haven't seen yet. That movie looks, I don't know what's going on in that film, but I want to find out. I want to find out. So I'm definitely gonna at least give it a shot. I don't know if I'll see it in theater, but I might see it when it's available to rent. Um, all right, next up, I know you did not express interest in this one. Civil War coming out April 26th, directed by Alex Garland. I always remember Alex Garland because he's not credited for it, but he pretty much directed the entirety of the Dread film after its director walked out, but they still gave him credit. They still gave the original director credit. So I loved the Dread movie.
Me
I'm
too.
interested in seeing what he does with this film. It's the idea that the United States has broken into factions and are in the middle of a civil war, in which California and Texas are the western states of the United States. And like that would never happen.
Yeah,
Texas and California would never team up, although the two most populated states with a lot of resources and big economies, if anything, could do some damage. I know that in the preview they even mentioned there is a Florida faction as well that is not part of that. So I know that there's multiple factions in the Civil War. Nick Offerman plays the president. Definitely interested in watching this one. I like dystopic films, so I'm interested in watching that. I like disaster films. This kind of feels like a mix of the two.
yeah, and another A24 film as well. Um, I'm excited to see Jesse Plemons. That dude can play some evil characters. So I wonder if his character is evil. He look. I think that was probably the best part of the trailer that I saw was his scene. He's like, I
What
was
kind
like,
of
well,
American
yeah,
are
and
you?
then like, what? We're American. Yeah, what kind of? What kind? And I don't know, just that scene looked very intense. Kristen Dunst is in it, like you said, Nick Offerman, some other people that I don't really know too much of, but it looks interesting. Again, it's just another one that I saw. I was like, I just don't know how I feel about that. But again, that one scene, I was like, it kind of caught my attention. Like, it's one of those where I think I might just watch when it's available um, on streaming platforms, if I'm being completely honest.
All right. Next up, Furiosa, May 24th, starring Anya Taylor Joy. I know Jason's probably very excited about this one because he loves Anya Taylor Joy. This is a continuation of the Mad Max saga, although it is a prequel. the story of how Furiosa becomes who she is
And loses her arm.
and loses her arm. So this will be a definitely this will be one of the big films of 2024. Everyone's going to be talking about it. You're going to see lots of commercials for this one as it gets closer. I'm sure you're excited, Jason. What do you think of this preview?
Yeah, the trailer looked sick. I don't know. I love the first one. Well, not the first one, but you know the reboot version with Tom Hardy. Loved it. Loved the character Furiosa, and just kind of showing that old evil villain of how like him in the young version and like how he takes those women as his hostages and to birth them, like not birth, but then mate with them and stuff like that. So I want to see how she gets trapped into all this and stuff, and how she loses her arm. And Chris Hemsworth is in it as well. Pretty solid cast, man. I'm excited. Nicholas Hoult is in it as well. So if you remember, he's the one that sprayed his face and like was teamed up with Tom Hardy. I think that was his character, if I'm not mistaken. In the first Mad Max movie with Tom Hardy.
Nicholas Hoult?
Yeah, he was the bald kid, the one that used him, the one that used Tom Hardy to put like blood and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, he's in it. I don't remember him in that film, but
Really?
I just every time I see Nicholas Hoult, I think of the Beast in X-Men films.
Yeah, you can't recognize him. Yeah, he like shaved his head and he's all white and stuff, like those evil dudes,
Okay.
minions and stuff. Yeah, minion. I forget what they're called, but yeah, he was that character. I liked his character too. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to see like how it builds to this, and Furiosa's side of her story. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, definitely interested in watching that one. Next preview that I saw was Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire. April 12th. Yeah, in theaters. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. If I'm being honest, I'm gonna watch it. Does it look good? I mean, no, it doesn't look good. If I'm being honest, it looks ridiculous. It looks like they've just gone too far with these movies. Gabby was like, "Why are they still making these movies?" And I was like, "They're gonna be making them forever, babe. They've been doing it since the late '50s. These guys ain't going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Well, actually, since the '30s for Kong. But yeah, I'm hoping that I'm pleasantly surprised because I do love monster movies. It just looks like they're going. It's already pretty unbelievable to have these giant monsters, but then watching you, it just I mean, Kong's got a metal glove, like a metal boxing glove. There's orangutans now. There's a whole world under earth with giant creatures.
Wasn't that Godzilla?
An out sprint King Kong now, apparently. So, yeah, lots going on in that one.
I don't know, man. The Godzilla looks pretty cool, bro. He's all pink and stuff. Like, I don't know. It looks interesting.
I mean, it looks like it'll be a fun popcorn summer movie.
Yeah, man, and that's all you can hope for this movie. Did I enjoy the Godzilla X Kong, the first one? Yeah, I didn't hate it. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, so I think this is just gonna be another fun movie. They're gonna overdo it.
I mean, the preview looked. See, Godzilla versus Kong. At least, like, there were only two monsters to focus on. Really, I mean, yes, there were other monsters, but not a crazy amount. They introduced you to that underground world already in that film. It just feels like a lot. It feels like they're really gonna have to. This movie's gonna have to be really good for it not to be absolutely ridiculous. Maybe they'll do what Fast and Furious did and just embrace it to the point where it's good and people somehow like it. We'll see.
That I don't know how people like those new Fast and Furious movies, bro. They do not look good, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not watched them, so not sure. All right, next one. So Godzilla versus Kong, April 12th. So you'll get it right before summer, guys. Next one is coming out earlier. Damsel, March 8th, coming to Netflix, starring our very own of Stranger Things fame is, oh my gosh, why can I
Millie
not?
Bobby Brown.
Yes, thank you. I am slow
Got
today.
you, man. I
So
got you, bro.
Millie Bobby Brown is in it. We've got Nick Robinson, Robin Wright, Angela Bassett, all in it. And the whole point of this story is that this young woman she's getting married, but she finds out that the family that she's marrying into, the royal family, right? She's going to be a princess. They're going to use her as a sacrifice, like a blood sacrifice to, I think it's a dragon, and you see her fighting the dragon, and it's her story of coming back as a pretty much like an action hero throughout the film, maybe to get vengeance on the family. I'm not sure. It looks a little more lighthearted than a Kill Bill style revenge film, but I'm sure she's going to get her payback in some form or another. Coming to Netflix March 8th, so I'm going to give it a peep. It's for free. Absolutely going to watch it. Millie Bobby Brown is great to watch on screen, so I'm pretty interested to see how this movie comes out.
Seems like she's not a damsel in distress, right? She's just a damsel
Yeah, yeah.
who's gonna cause some
That's what
stress.
they call it then. Huh? I see. Big brain. What does he say in Pulp Fiction? Look at the big brain on Brad.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that one looks interesting. Definitely gonna watch it. I'm sure they definitely did the whole damsel thing on purpose.
Oh
Now,
yeah, for sure.
Jason, have you ever heard of Code 8?
Code 8, no, never heard of her.
So it
Just kidding.
that's pretty good.
No,
So it was a series, if I'm not mistaken, of short stories on the dead streamer that had like short 8-minute episodes of things that became its own movie at one point, starring Stephen Amell of the Arrow series. So they're making a part two. Netflix is funding this one. It's coming out February 28th. A lot of fans. The fans made the first one happen, and now Netflix is jumping on the bandwagon with them for the second part. I don't know anything about the first one, but I wanted to give it to our viewers in case you are a fan of Code 8. Second part coming out February 28th.
yo, that looks cool. Oh, dude, I think I saw like a TikTok like skit of this where they have like robotic police, like AI police and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what it looks like to me, and I think I
He has
remember.
some superpowers as well. He's got some kind of like superpower thing going on.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it looks like because she's like, I don't know, doing some weird stuff and like lightning coming out of his hands. I'm just like,
I would. Could you do that again, just one more time? that
I don't
was
know.
for those of you who are only
He looks
listening.
way cooler.
He's holding his hand out as if he's grasping something, and just like putting a lot of pressure in his face, so it's getting. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it
Anyway,
looks like farting, I guess,
yeah, yeah.
or
I
her
was,
about to run
I
into
was
the.
going to say, but yes. Next one that actually I wanted to name two that already came out as well, but we'll talk about those in a minute. Uh, did you see the preview for the new installment to the Alien franchise, Alien Romulus? It's set between the first Alien movie and Aliens. So between the Ridley Scott version and the James Cameron version, Romulus is set to come out. I don't know a lot about Romulus. I just know that it is directed by Fede Alvarez, and it is set between the two. It's going to focus on a group of young people from a distant world who encounter the xenomorphs, and the film is going to take place in an unexplored time, and so that it can have its own fresh start. You can see the ship that we see in Alien. Oh my gosh, in Prometheus, the prequel to Alien, on the cover of it as well. If you look it up on Google, so I think it's going to make a lot of connections to some of the films. I like the Alien movies. I haven't seen them all, but I like Prometheus. I liked the original Alien. The James Cameron one was a bit much for me, but it's a fan favorite. So I'm interested in watching this one. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah. I like the Alien movies. I low key liked Alien versus Predator, but that's just me. Whatever.
I did too. I did too.
Yeah, yeah. I know people hated it, but I had fun watching it. Prometheus, never finished watching it. I remember I didn't know what it was about. I didn't even like. I was just like, Prometheus, what is this? They're on a planet, and then I remember watching a little bit, and I'm like, oh, it's Alien. Okay, cool. But never finished watching it, but I heard it was good too. So
Yeah, I
I think
highly recommend it.
yeah, I'm not like a huge fan of Alien, but I don't think I think I have seen the trailer. I can't remember. Looks interesting, you know. Definitely something definitely I would be down to watch come August 16th if there's nothing else.
Okay, you added that caveat in there. If there's nothing else, it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, you know, I don't know, who knows? Maybe uh Tarantino comes out just with a surprise film, and that's his last one. You know, it comes out on the 16th. I don't know, who knows?
You never know. You never know. Next one would be uh, Expats coming out January 26th, which I believe is on uh, Amazon Prime. Expats stars Nicole Kidman. It's a drama series. Uh, it's about a woman who loses her child in Hong Kong. Now, I don't know a whole lot more about the details, but it looks like some of the characters in the show know what happens to their son. And I think it's going to be somewhat of a situation in which the what happened to the son slowly unravels over time. And I bet if I'm willing to guess, it's going to have one of those shock endings or just a very depressing end, but it looks like it'll be a very good story to play out. I'm
It's gonna
interested
be
to see
on,
in this series.
it's gonna be on Prime Video, right?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Prime Video, coming out January 26th. So
Oh,
very, very soon.
some new updates. Prime Video, I think, is set. I think this year or this month. I can't remember. I saw an update on it, but we're gonna be getting ads now. uh,
Oh, what?
so I don't know if they're gonna be like during like when you're watching your show and like, oh, we're just gonna jump into an ad real quick, you know? So
So we're going backward now. We're going
yeah, we're
backward.
definitely going backwards, and then all the other big streaming platforms are merging together. Because if you have Disney Plus, I don't know if you guys noticed, there's a beta version out now for Hulu, so you can actually have access to Hulu from Disney Plus. You just hit the beta version, and then you have access to all the shows that are Hulu. You can't watch live TV or anything like that, but you at least have access to Hulu if you did it before. We saw this coming. Disney bought them out, you know, so all of the main streaming platforms are just going to eat up all the other ones. Like, hey, if you want to watch this, you got to pay 100 and something a month, and then we're back to
Back
direct
to
TV. And
yeah, it's
uh,
all going to be the same thing all over again.
it's hilarious. So
Well, it was fun while it lasted. We got some great stuff without commercials for a while. So there's that.
yeah, or you know, pay more for no ads, right? So it's just, you know, one or the other.
Not going to do that. All right. Let me see. Next one would be Land of Bad. I feel like you'd be interested in this one, Jason. It is starring Liam Hemsworth, Russell Crowe, Luke Hemsworth. It is about a failed military operation, and they're trying to get them out. Russell Crowe plays the man behind the drone that is trying to pretty much be the guardian angel for, I think, the lone survivor of that mission, or if anything, the only one he has contact with while they find the rest of the survivors. This is coming out February 16th in theaters. I'm interested to see where this story goes. It could go really well. I definitely want to see what they do with it.
Yeah, it looks interesting. Might want to catch that. Looks like action packed, so I'm all for
Yes,
it.
all the way through. All the way through, yeah. Next one after that. Anyway, Land of Bad, February 26th. And then next one would be Miller's Girl. Have you heard of Miller's Girl, Jason?
I can't say I have.
This one is about a teacher who befriends, which teacher is Martin Freeman, who befriends his student, who is Jenna Ortega. And what Jenna Ortega's character does is that she tries to manipulate him, and she puts him into situations that look as though he is having a relationship with a high school student,
But he's not.
but he's not. But it it very much treads the line in which he should have thought through. You can already tell he should have thought through the situations he put himself in before he befriended this girl, because he did show favoritism to her. He did meet with her. It looks like he meets with her outside of school. Nothing happens, but he meets with her outside of school without any other witness. As a teacher, I can tell you that is absolutely not something that you should do for this exact reason. It can look like something else. And from what I'm seeing in the commercial, she is trying to blackmail him for that and ruin his life. Yeah,
Wow.
yes. Yeah, all because I think she wants to get an A or something like that. I'm not sure what her motives are, besides the fact that she wants to ruin his life, and she's got a friend who's egging her on to do it. So
That
I'm interested in watching this movie. It looks messed up. It looks messed up.
that is messed up. That sounds interesting too, like a very drama-filled, suspenseful thriller type thing. It sounds like.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
what it seems like this movie might do is like, is he though? Like, is he having a relationship with her, like, or something? I don't know. I'm
I feel
kind of
like
curious
that's
to
the
see.
question they're gonna make everyone ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
From the commercial, it looks like nothing has happened, and he tries to take control of the situation by being an asshole,
Mhm.
which works even more against him because it gives her reason to be more intense and blackmail him and say that something happened. So
That's crazy.
I'm interested in watching this one as well.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Count me in. Sign me up, coach.
And then the last two that actually have already come out are The Shift, which I think is the one that is a metaphor, or well, a retelling of the Job story, right? By Angel Studios. It came out December 1st. It's already in theaters. I thought we'd give it a little more love on the show since I'm not seeing a whole lot of information on it, as well as a show on Hulu that came out on the 20th, December 20th, called Dragons of Wonder Hatch. Now, this looks like it's for specific viewers because this one is about a girl who dreams about being in animes. It's Japanese, and she ends up somehow opening a portal to this anime world. So half of the show is in anime and the other half is in live action, and you can see the crossover. And sometimes it looks a little bit cringy, but I think it's meant to be that way. It's meant to look that way. Definitely looks like it could possibly be a family friendly show, but also a pretty good show for people who like anime or any kind of stuff like that in that culture.
That live action Blue Dragon looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks the CGI on that dragon is pretty dope.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it looks interesting. I'm seeing like different pictures. I'm like, is this all one thing? Which
Yeah,
if it is, that's pretty crazy. So
yeah, it jumps between anime and live action a lot. Like in the preview, it's just constant jumping back and forth.
and
So
this is a movie or a show?
it's a show. It looks like on.
Oh yeah, season 1 on Hulu. Okay, okay, all right, all right. Might
Yeah,
get
yeah. This one looks interesting. I'm excited to see it. So those are all of our current 2024 previews. There's many more than that. That's just what we wanted to give you guys. Jason, you got any previews for us anymore?
no, that's it, man. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you covered it all. Everything that's coming out, pretty close. So yeah, good job.
All right. Let's jump into TV land. I know you watched some stuff. What'd you see, Jason?
I sure did. So we haven't spoken since before the Christmas weeks. So before I left out of town, Jamie and I ended up watching Klaus, a movie that you had recommended. But also Jamie had put it on her queue and she saw like a lot of great reviews. So we ended up watching it, dude. And yo, very good. Very good movie. Animated film available on Netflix. Must watch. um, it'll make you feel things for sure. Yeah, I didn't cry, but I kind of wanted to. I kind of wanted to.
Are you talking about Klaus's wife?
What?
Are you talking about Klaus's wife?
I mean, there's just moments, I don't want to ruin it for people, but it was really good. J.K. Simmons plays Santa Claus, right? So it's just the origin story of Santa and how the story became to what we know it now, which I thought was a very interesting take on it. And based off of Mailman too, like how he got him started and stuff like that. I thought it was awesome. And you hate the antagonist protagonist, sorry, is first like an antagonist but becomes a protagonist, which you like to see, character development and whatnot, all that stuff. But very good, feel good movie, man. Very great to watch with kids and family, or even by yourself, man. I highly recommend it. It's a great Christmas movie. I will say this: I am going to be watching that probably once a year as well. So
Yeah,
it's
we watch it every year
yeah, it's
since
gonna be
this.
my Christmas movie. But yeah, man, it was great.
All right. It also stars Jason Schwartzman. He is Jesper, the mailman.
Yeah.
Norm Macdonald's in it. Rashida Jones also voices J.K. Simmons as Klaus, as you mentioned. So definitely a pretty good cast. Very good Christmas movie. So next year, guys, check that one out for Christmas. I know we just passed the holiday season, but it's a good watch, and the animation is very nice. I
Yeah.
feel like Netflix has really hit a good stride with animation, and this show was one of the first ones with it. So, or this movie was one of the first ones with it.
Yeah, I agree. The animation was dope. So yeah, overall, man, I'd probably give it like a 8.7, honestly.
Yeah, great film.
Yeah,
The
great film.
next one you saw, I've been wanting to see, but I want to watch it with Gabby, so I'm waiting to watch that one. Tell us a bit about Rye Lane, Jason.
Yeah, Right Lane, man. Another great I thought that was a great film too. Another one that Jamie had on her queue and just had seen and recommended it. We were kind of tired that day, and then we're like, oh, something short, nice and short. And it's a pretty short film. It's not long, although it felt long, but in a good way. It just follows these two characters. One of the male character ends up going through a breakup, and she runs into him, and it's just the other day of him help her helping him get over this relationship. But if it takes like a span of a day, but it's pretty crazy because it feels like a Wes Anderson film, based off of like the scenery and stuff like that, which was really interesting. Um, but the stuff that they do all day, like it was very comedic. I didn't think it was gonna, like, I was not expecting it to be this funny. I laughed a lot. But just good moments, and two characters may or may not fall in love, so um amazing. They're based off of London. I don't know, somewhere in the UK. So it was a little hard. I did honestly, their accents were kind of, if I'm being completely honest, a little hard to catch on, because they were just speaking really fast, and I was like, oh, but hey, that's what subtitles are for, and I love. Fight me if you want to, but subtitles on movies and TV shows are a must, in my opinion. Um, yeah, you're the same way.
Well, Gabby messed me up. I never used to watch them with subtitles. Now I can't not watch them with subtitles. I have to have.
Really?
Like, wait,
Yeah,
what did he say? Wait, go
yeah.
back, go
Yeah,
back.
I'm the same person. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, wait, what did he say? Like, what they say? And I didn't hear it. So let me just give me the subtitles, and I won't ask that question. I'm like, okay, that's what they said. Cool. So, but highly recommended, dude. Very easy watch. Again, it's not a long movie. I believe the runtime is under 2 hours. Um, but yeah, it's a great feel good movie. It's comedic. It's a beautiful cinematography. And 8.3. Yeah, maybe higher, honestly. Um, Definitely recommend it, dude. I like watch it tonight, or this week at least. I don't know. Don't watch it tonight. You might be tired, but watch it this week for
No, tonight, staying up all night, work. Who needs it?
sure.
Who needs it? All right. So you said 8 point what?
8.3, but I think I might be higher. Probably 8.5.
All right. Catch that on Hulu, guys.
Yeah,
Riley, it's a love story, right?
it's a love story. Yeah, yeah. But just the way it's very nice, fresh take to it on it. Honestly, it's like very, I won't say very different, and it's similar to a lot of things. But a guy goes through a breakup, he's crying, she sees him crying in the stall and tries to decide to help him out. The female character, very outgoing person, and she's just awesome. So it was just kind of cool that they worked really well together. The chemistry you can tell their chemistry on scene was amazing, because you just felt it.
You could see them actually being a couple.
Yeah, I could see that. Like in my head, they are a couple, you know. But yeah, man, you have some stuff for us that you saw as well.
Yeah, I've got a few, so I'll go into them. First off, I watched Blue Eyed Samurai on Netflix. It Imagine Kill Bill met anime, and you would have Blue Eyed Samurai. Because my gosh, it is gory. It is hard to stop watching, and you can't believe what you're watching in the moment. Kind of like Kill Bill, where you're like, oh my god, this is happening, but it's so badass. That's the whole time you're watching that show. There is an action sequence in this show that I I will maintain this. You can quote me on it later. It rivals live action scenes in any movie that I can think of. It's that good. It is
Yeah,
that.
I've heard nothing but great things. A lot of people that I saw that like influencers that I watch on TikTok that talk about movies and TV shows, like their end of year list for TV shows, they said that that was like one of their favorite ones this year. So um, I'm very excited to watch that. Jamie's not really much of an anime person, like cartoon, even though I tell her that some of them are really good. So it's gonna be one of those where I have to like watch while she's asleep on my phone or something, you know. I'll have to figure out. I'm trying to figure out when to watch it, but it definitely is a must for me. I'm really trying to watch that show. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I would say it doesn't have a typical anime feel, so she might like it.
Okay. Okay.
It
Well,
it, it has
I'll
a more serious tone, so you could definitely tell her that as well.
I was trying to get her to watch Invincible. I told her it's just like The Boys in a cartoon version, but she was like, "Nah." Yeah,
Some people aren't into animated. That's okay.
that's all good.
All right, but yeah, I would Blue Eyed Samurai as a show so far, season one, a 9 point, I don't know, 9.2. Like
Mm.
I it even the season finale, like it leaves you with a cliffhanger, but you got enough closure to be happy with what you saw. But you're like, I can't wait to see what happens next. There's so many open questions, even though they answered a lot of what you wanted to know from the first season.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm excited, dude. I can't wait.
All right. Next for me, family film that came out this holiday season, and one of the only original stories to come out lately, really, that they're trying to do as a tent pole was Migration from Illumination, the story of those ducks who migrate.
Oh yeah, I've been kind of wanting to see that, to be honest.
I really liked it. I thought it was a fun movie. I hope people went to go see it. I hope it does well. I hope it has legs in theaters because Illumination did some fun stuff with that movie, and the animation is beautiful. So I really hope that they get some good information out of that. I hope they get possibly a nomination. We'll have to see what its competition is. I know Spider Verse is out there, so
Yeah, that's gonna win.
they're
Sorry.
not going to win. That's for sure. Yeah, they're not going to win, but I hope they get a nomination and acknowledgement at the very least. Migration was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and they have a short film or a short story that comes out before the movie, which tells us what happened to Vector from the original Despicable Me.
Oh, sick, dude. I loved Vector and Despicable Me, man.
Oh, you get a whole 7 minute short story for him. So that
Hilarious.
was fun to watch too. Yeah, it was pretty funny. It
Yeah.
was pretty funny. It was cute.
Isn't he
Uh,
on the movie?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
yeah. It is. The story is about him trying to get off of the moon. So
Oh, nice.
that's all I'll say there. But yeah, go check out Migration if you guys haven't watched it. If you got kids, it's gonna be a real easy watch. Uh, Lots of fun, and it's about just getting out of your shell and seeing as much of the world as you can because you don't have, the world isn't going to wait for you, right? The world does not wait. There's never a perfect time. It's never going to be completely safe. You just gotta take the plunge and try new things.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You can't leave the world behind. You know what I mean? So
yeah, or you'll get left behind.
yeah.
Yeah. So Migration out in theaters. Please go watch it, guys. The next two we've both seen. We're gonna go with Leave the World Behind first. Came out on Netflix, starring Julia Roberts, Mahershala Ali. We've got Kevin Bacon and Ethan Hawke, the Hollywood twins. Um, so, Jason, how'd
I
you
feel like
feel about Leave the World Behind?
I didn't talk about it in the last time we recorded.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. I think because I was talking about it too much on our group chats, and I gave my opinions about it. Um, Leave the World Behind. It was a movie, you know.
It was a
Uh,
movie. It was a
it
movie.
was a movie, dude. It felt like I don't know how to The Happening. I don't. You never seen The Happening, right? The M Night Shyamalan film. I feel like the M Night Shyamalan film actually had a lot more stuff that happened. This movie, like, no, to me, I don't think anything happened. Like nothing happened. Like, there was quite a bit of suspense. Like what the fuck is going on? And the ending was just kind of, to me, it was just like, that's it. Like that's whack. Like I didn't like it.
They
The more I think about it, and more I watch this movie, I'm just like, I didn't like it, man. I didn't like it.
they leave you on a heavy cliffhanger ending. The audience score on this one is agreeing with you, my friend. Audience score for this movie is 34%. Critic score is 76%. So audiences didn't enjoy this one. They didn't enjoy Leave the World Behind. It's pretty much about a terror attack that is aimed at trying to turn Americans against each other by taking away our electronics, our ability to travel and get information so that we can turn on each other by assuming the worst. So I'll tell you why I like this movie.
All
So
right.
I have been well documented for saying that I one day would like to be a doomsday prepper. I want to be prepared if the world ends. And this movie, it was just everything that I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Those are the things that could happen. That's why I want to be ready. That's why I want to have my own generators and an underground bunker. The whole time I was watching the movie, that's all I could think throughout the whole thing. Like when the son gets bit by a tick and he gets some kind of illness from the tick. I was like, see,
Right.
I should have medicine. I should have some medicine ready somewhere. I got to be ready to raid a pharmacy if I have to. That was my whole thought process through the whole movie. I couldn't stop thinking it. So I enjoyed it through that lens. I could see how you feel like nothing happens because it's a lot about how the family reacts to each other. Uh,
Right.
it reminded me a lot of the original Night of the Living Dead, where they have to do a lot of trust and communication, and they don't, and that's what ends up turning people against each other. I enjoyed that aspect of it, but yeah, if you wanted like full on action, there's not a whole lot of that. There's about one scene where it almost happens, but then doesn't. It's more of a commentary on what if this happened, how would actual people react and what would they do?
Yeah, they're not like over exaggerating it. I think just one thing personally, like, and who knows, maybe this might be right. Because all the satellites were taken out, like all electricity, and I guess um, what it's called, like radio waves and stuff like that, are completely gone, pretty much. So, do animals really react that way? If electric fields are actually affecting the way flamingos migrate or the way deer act around humans, like what was that whole point? Like, and it was probably symbolic, right, to something. But like that one scene where all the deer are just like walking up on the like Julia Roberts and her daughter. I'm like, okay, so it makes you think it's all right. Something else is happening. Clearly, it's not just what I thought it was. Like, oh, the underworld and like settlers are going out and
Well, they were talking about how animals change their migration patterns according to
yeah,
certain things that happen, and that was
yeah,
why you saw all those deer. I think the deer, I'm sure they represent a little bit more than that because they had the deer come out pretty often.
yeah. Like,
That was,
I know
that
they
was where, go
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off. Apologize, but yeah, like I understand like the migration patterns changing, but like the way the deer were acting towards the humans, yeah, they might change their migration patterns, but are they still gonna act like that around humans like that? I don't know, man. I mean, I've only seen a couple of deer, and they always try to stay away from us, and I almost ran over some, but that's about it to my deer knowledge. But I don't want to think like deers would like walk up to humans like that, even though their migration patterns change. I don't know. It's just that's just me.
Yeah, I it was it was an interesting movie. I understand why you didn't like it. That's why I was like, please tell me more, because like I get it, but I was just fascinated with the concept, if that
Yeah,
makes sense. I was more fascinated with the concept than with the story itself, because I was like, oh, this is interesting. Tell me more about what would happen if the world ended. What do I need to prepare for in 20 years? You know.
yeah. I like the idea of doomsday prepping. I think we all want to be doomsday preppers, but
No, my
you
family
never.
thinks I'm a weirdo, and that's okay. They'll all come to me when the world ends. I've
Also,
got
maybe it's probably not the best idea to tell people that you want a doomsday prep and you're starting a doomsday prep because guess what? They're gonna come after you when they find out. It's like, oh, Luigi was talking about how he's prepping all this stuff and having generated and stuff, so we got to go crash in and his place
this
and take all
place.
the shit. Yeah,
Well, see, they'll know by that time I'm gonna have like a whole barrier set up. They can't just get up in my place. What are we talking
people.
about? But yeah, it was. I mean, I'd give it what, a 6.5. It was fun to
Yeah,
watch.
I give that bad boy like a 4.2, maybe three, three
I
point
think he's
eight.
being nice, guys. I think he wants to give it a 1, but
Well, because there's moments where I'm like, all right, cool, like fuck Julia Roberts, I'm like, what a bitch. Um, but
oh yeah,
like in a good way.
great job being obnoxious.
Yeah, like what's her problem, man? Chill the fuck out. But yeah, I mean that's all I really have to say about it, dude. I don't know, man. It was just very disappointing.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Let's go on to the last feature that we're going to talk about in today's episode. One that we both thoroughly enjoyed. Ironclaw, the story of the Von Erich brothers from wrestling. What'd you think of Ironclaw?
Yo, man, it was amazing. Another A24 film, and whew, dude, it was gut wrenching, heartbreaking, dude. Phenomenal film. I really love Zac Efron's performance, dude. It didn't even feel like I was watching Zac Efron. It felt like I was watching Kevin Von Erich. Well, I mean, I didn't really know Kevin Von Erich like that. I didn't know much about the Von Erichs until after the film. I looked it up, and their story is way more heartbreaking than what it was in the movie.
Yeah, it. When you told me about they had another brother who also committed suicide, I was pretty surprised. I think what you said about Zac Efron, I felt like that was the same with everyone in that movie
Oh
except
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
yeah, they all really were into the role. You can easily forget that they're famous actors. Is the point there, because they played the role so well. I think this is. I really hope that Zac Efron gets a nod for this one as well. I think he did a fantastic job, and the most impressive part about the performance is that a lot of it is body language and facial expressions, because those brothers, especially Kevin, are not very vocal. They're not talkers. I think one brother was. The rest of them weren't big talkers, and he has to show a lot of his feelings and his just his acting through facial expressions and body language. And I think he does a great job of it.
Oh, dude, yeah, I agree. Yeah, David's character played by yeah, you said Harris Dickinson did amazing, bro. And the dad, bro, played by Holt McElhaney. Fuck that fool, bro. Fuck the dad, dude.
Yeah, he would set the brothers against each other, and at times you're not sure if it's on purpose, but by the end of the movie, it is, you can tell it's on purpose. It is definitely done with intent so that the brothers can fight for acceptance and love from their father. Holt McElhaney, am I saying that right? McElhaney. He's,
Yes,
I
I
always
think so.
remember him from Fight Club as the guy with the man boobs. You remember that?
Oh, what? That was him? I didn't know that, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I always think of him. So when I saw him in the movie, I was like, "Hey, Fight Club!"
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was definitely a great film to watch. Really sad story. Like, my God, it's depressing. I will say, not to ruin anything, that you do get a good ending out of it, as much of a good ending as you can. But this story is a heartbreaker. Another A24 film, man. We are just giving A24 all of the clout today. But it's another A24 film. Highly recommend to watch it. What would you rate it, Jason?
This film, I definitely give it like a 9.1. Um, a little fun fact: Chavo Guerrero, famous wrestler, actually from El Paso, taught the choreography and wrestling to the actors. So nice little nod there. Shout out El Paso, Texas. Um, I didn't know this until I think Jermaine said it in our podcast. So I just wanted to definitely just shout out that representation from El Paso. You know,
EPT, that 915. I got you, baby. All right. So what would you rate it?
9.1.
9.1
Like,
now.
yeah, yeah. Also, what blows my mind, dude, Lily James, bro. Kevin Von Erich's wife.
Great.
Dude, she's a great actress, bro. And so I don't watch Downtown Abbey, but my girlfriend does, and she was like, she's like unrecognizable, dude. And she also played Pam in Pam and Tommy, the series on Hulu that came out in 2022, which I recommended for you to watch that. Bro, I was like, wait, that's her. I totally forgot. Yeah, like, dude, again, unrecognizable. She does an amazing job as well. So shout out her, especially like in a very male heavy cast. You feel for the mom, but you also kind of the mom's character, but also like it's kind of the mom's fault too for like not like talking to her husband and like, hey, you're too rough on these kids, you know?
The mom was rough on those kids.
No, no,
No,
the mom talking to the dad, like she should have like,
we should have
and
backed them up.
yeah, yeah, and you can just kind of see her like how hurt she is by the end of the film, like where she, um, she just like kind of lost herself. I mean, that's what happens when you lose kids, when you have to bury them you know, before they bury you. Last scene got me fucking balling, bro. That shit was so sad. Where,
Brothers.
yeah, Kevin's watching his sons play together, and he just starts
Oh,
crying.
I used to be a brother, and now I'm not. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I used to be a brother, now I'm not. He had 5 brothers, dude. That is, oh no, 4 brothers. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that line was, that one was a heartbreaker.
Yeah,
Or the
man.
scene, I mean, as bad of a, well, not bad, as cold of a mother as she was, the scene where the mom can't put on the dress the second time,
Oh,
that one was rough. That was
yeah,
rough.
yeah.
God, I
She's like,
couldn't, I
hoping,
couldn't deal with that one either. I was
yeah,
like,
just hoping. Like, I was hoping I never have to wear this again. Will people even notice that I'm wearing the same thing? Like, oh my god, oh, that is, ugh.
and the father unfazed. I don't know. I don't know if he was. I don't know if he was affected in real life, but in the film, he's portrayed as unfazed by what happened to his sons, and just like, all right, on to the next one. And you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude,
And I felt
it's
like he never gave Kevin a fair shake. He always questioned him. He never respected him. He always put, if he had the opportunity to do so, he was putting his other brothers above him. I thought that was very disrespectful and just bad parenting. God, he was just so unlikable. He was so unlikable in that film.
dude, I do for real. And like he just like, Yeah, I get it. You never became a world champion, but so you're gonna live your life through your kids, and you just went too hard on them, dude.
Yeah, and when Kevin sells the ring, the stadium, the arena,
Yeah,
his dad was still trying to stop him. That's amazing to me. Like he leaves it to him, but then questions everything he does.
yeah, unbelievable, dude. But yeah, great movie, great film. I highly recommend it. You will all enjoy it. Bring some tissues. Uh, what did you rate it? I'm sorry. Did you already ask you that?
I have not given it a rating. I would give it a 9.2 as well.
Yeah, yeah. By far, definitely would have made the top 10 list of my 2023. If you guys haven't checked that episode out, go ahead check it out. We kind of did a different ranking system where we all um,
By
ranked
points.
it. Yeah, ranked it 1 through 10. If you ranked it the number one movie, it got 10. If you ranked it number two, 9, 8, 7, and so on and so forth. So whoever got the most points ended up being our best movie. Shows, we did that with shows and music and stuff. So if you guys haven't checked it out, I think you find it very interesting. Let us know what you disagree with, what you like. Let us know some of your favorite movies or shows that you might recommend for us. Um, yeah, I really did have enjoyed that episode, having being with Jermaine and Eric for the Roomie Awards. I think they call it, right, Room 303. So yeah, shout out to them.
They call them the roomies. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were. I mean, I liked the year in review. That was pretty fun. Definitely check that one out, guys. But that's it for us today. Jason, you got any shout outs? You got anything you want to plug?
No, just happy New Year's to everybody. We can't wait to watch more stuff and talk about it with you. I hope you guys have a you know nice New Year's resolution. I'm doing dry January this year, so we'll see. Hopefully, I can keep it going forward as we go. Lose some weight. I got a couple weddings I'm attending to. Another thing. I think it's okay to say my sister gave birth on March December 30th.
Congratulations, Janet.
Yeah,
Congrats.
she's doing very well. The baby's doing very well. Jan's doing very well. 2 pounds, 3.6 ounces. So very small baby.
She's a little creamy.
Little
She
pretty.
looks like a cutie. Can't wait to meet her.
Yeah, me neither, dude. And I'm just so happy right now because I'm getting text updates every day, and they're saying she's doing great. So breathing on her own and stuff like that. So I can't wait to meet my new niece, man. So hopefully in a couple months I can come down and visit her, and we'll see. What about you, brother?
Super happy for you, man. Just shout out to everyone who came to visit and shared with us in our holiday celebrations. Big shout out to my cousin that I just recently met, Jelian, and her husband, Rafael. Can't wait to get to know you guys a little bit better. Definitely want to see you guys more throughout the year. And hopefully next year we'll be spending Christmas together again.
Sweet,
all right.
man.
We love you. We appreciate you guys. We're going to see you next week for another episode of Revenge of the Pod. Peace out, guys.